Hi, this is Steve Hosher with Razorgage, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about why the RG3 software doesn't have some of the screens that RGST had. Mainly, the ones that are popular are the batch screen and the auto pusher screen. This is the RGST software, by the way. So, batch screen is where you can choose a saved part number, which brings up a part number and a length and material type. And then you can set the leading and end, lead trim, end trim, quantity, the number of pieces that you have loaded, and then you can click use length and load, and you can enter your stock length and it'll push parts. So mainly what it really is a cut list with one line item and a big quantity. And then auto calc screen. Oh, sorry, auto pusher screen. This is where you can construct a board and run it over and over. So you can say you got an 8-foot board and you want to cut 2 4-foot pieces. Or that's impossible out of an 8-foot board, but for the sake of discussion, we'll say that. Because of the leading edge trim and the kerf, you can't get 2 4-foot pieces out of an exactly 96-inch board. Let's say 2 36-inch parts and a 1-foot part. And you want to just save that and run it, or just create it and not save it and run it. So that's still a cut list that you're just going to repeat. So we thought we could, rather than having all these screens that one has to learn, we could combine that all into the list screen. So we have stop mode and pusher mode, and each one has a list screen. Stop mode, list. So in these list screens, this is the equivalent of the work order screen, basically, here, which was the free cut list screen, and it still is, but you can't sort by material type, you can't optimize, you can't map it. This requires a cut list where the first column is line number, the second is length, the third is quantity, and then you have up to 7 more where you can do whatever you want. So this is more of a rigid format. Can't sort, can't optimize, can't print, that kind of thing. And that's basically what the pusher list and stop mode list screens are. In our Android software, we're able to read the same list as the work order screen, but the Android software had another column called remaining quantity, which enabled you to reset the quantity. So you could have say you wanted to build a chair and you had a bill of materials for a chair. You can have the quantity set for one chair in that bill of materials. You could open it and then say you want 20 chairs, and it multiplies the quantities. And then you can run that out and open it 2 weeks later, and the quantities for the original one chair would still be there. To do that, we need one column for quantity and one for remaining quantity, so it can count down the quantities but also save it for later. So when we did this, we wanted to have that capability. But when you require that column, when it's looking for that column, it won't read the work order, the old work order screen cut lists, which there are a lot of people that have a bunch of those work order lists already made up. So there's a setting in software options. Oh, I got to enter the password. In software options that says use, and it defaults to this, use legacy work order style list format. And it says, no, this will disable quantity persistence and list creation. So I'm going to uncheck that, because you only need that if you're going to open up legacy work order cut lists. And remember, those are the same as the current ones, except they don't have remaining quantity column. So if you're just worried about or want to create new cut lists and things, then you uncheck this. All right, we've done that. We're going to save changes. So now we'll go back to the real point of this video. So we'll batch screen and auto pusher screen are both pusher screens. Batch only is used as a, that's what its function is. It's meant to be used as a pusher. You can't use it in stop mode. There is no option for that. Same way with auto pusher screen. That's why it's called that. So in RG3, we separate functions. So you have certain screens that are available in stop mode and certain screens that are available in pusher mode. So to duplicate or replicate batch screen and auto calc screen, you're going to go to pusher mode. And so now that I've unchecked that box, this create new cut list screen is live. It was faded out before. I'll just demonstrate that real quick. Go back to settings. And I'll check this. Then we'll go to pusher mode, and you can see that create new cut list button is ghosted out. So you have to create cut list in work order, you have to uncheck this. All right. So let's say you want to use batch screen. And like I said before, that's basically a list with one line item and a big quantity. And then you just cut that same quantity over and over and over and over. So the way to do that is you create a new list, put in a length of 16.25, quantity 5,000. We don't need to add material or description. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. And save and open. And now you just click go. You can either optimization, that's another feature of RG3 we have. If you purchased AutoList, you can optimize in this screen. If you didn't purchase AutoList, then this won't show up. So now we're back to basically what batch screen was. You just click go and it'll run this, just run this same length forever. And you can adjust the quantities, although that's not necessary for the purpose of what we're talking about here. And then auto pusher screen, like I said before, that's a list that you repeat. So we called it repeating pattern because auto pusher screen kind of conflicted, or it was too, we have a system called the APS, our automatic pusher system. And it caused a little bit of confusion. The auto pusher screen made people think that's the only screen you could use with the auto pusher system. So it really didn't accurately reflect what the screen meant. Repeating pattern is arguably not a great name either, but that's what we call it. So this works just like the auto pusher screen in the RGST software. You create new, and in this screen the board is laid out horizontally. So we say the stock length, let's say it's 96, load position is 100, leading edge trim we'll say is 1, part length 12.25. Oh, I forgot to click start. So now there's that, and it shows that part here. We don't have a quantity because you can just click add if you want for however many of these you want. And then maybe we want a 20, and it shows here the number of it's got 44 inches left in the part, taking the trim, leading and trailing edge trim into consideration. So we got 44 inches, maybe we want to put a 42-inch part in there. And now we've used up the whole board. Now we can Save and open, and yeah, because this is the demo software, it's gonna fault out when I try to run it. But so you can see it's exactly like the old one. It's actually a little more intuitive. So that's how how we've accommodated the batch screen and auto pusher screen in the RG3 software. We think it's an improvement because you only have to learn. You don't have to learn as many different screens. You learn one and you're able to do all of it. And then if you're in AutoList, the nice thing is if you want to create manual parts, it's the same screen again. You can put something in here if you want. And again, you can just add stuff in. And then you can just save and open, and it's going to open it. And then you can run it in AutoList. So that's much easier than it used to be. So those are the ways you can ways to create cut lists in RG3. It's actually really easy. And then, you know, if you're using it, I'll just go ahead and talk about stop mode a little bit. The stop mode list, exactly the same thing, same screen. Is just when you run it, it's going to move it as a stop rather than as a pusher. So I hope that clears some confusion up about RG3 and the absence of the batch screen and the auto pusher screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.